Hi, Michelle here with Achieve It Fitness, and welcome to the 6-week focus on abs and arms. Every week during this series, you're going to get a little video where I'll be explaining what the exercises are to help tone and define and get stronger in your core and also in your arms. So let's get started. We have a little bit of disclaimer. Remember, before starting any new exercise program, always get approval from your doctor. And really, most importantly, is listen to your own body. You know when you can push harder and you know when you need to back off. So just keep honoring yourself. Even if we're saying push harder, it's really best to do what you need to do to take care of yourself. That's how you're going to get stronger, and that's how you're going to stay healthy. All right, so the first thing with any program is we need to do the warm-up. So a good thing to do is just put this on pause for right now. You could go out and take a 10-minute walk, a 10-minute power walk, leisure walk, maybe a little jogging after the first 5 minutes. Or if you want to stay indoors today, you can put on about 3 to 4 songs and just dance and move and just get some energy going through your body. It doesn't have to be a lot. It's just enough to get the heart rate pumping and things going. All right, so we're going to start with the arm exercises. And as you can see, I have a lot of different size weights. I typically like to use lighter weights and more reps. So if you can only do the rep like 7 or 8 times, I would rather you drop down to a lighter weight. And this whole first week is just you experimenting with your body. So the first thing you're going to do is select a light weight. So I'll start with 5s. And we're going to do, our first set is bicep curls. And it's just the warm up. So you're going to do about 10 to 12 little bicep curls. You're going to focus on exhaling as you lift. Making sure that your knees are soft and your spine is lifted. And just a few little ones just to warm up the body. So I used 5s. If you're brand new, 3s are really nice. And if you're more experienced, maybe a 6 or an 8 for a warm-up. Now that we're going to start the 3 reps for the biceps, we're going to start with your heavier weights. I'm actually going to use 10s, and we're going to begin with a sets of 15. Here we go. So you're going to lift. Remember to take it easy on your last rep and take your time as you set the weights down. One of the most common ways that people either pull a muscle or get out of alignment is because they just finish that last one and they kind of just throw it down on the ground. Make sure you're really mindful as you lower that last one down and just very carefully taking it back to set it down. Again, it's one of the most common ways that people develop an injury. All right, so that was considered one set. You have 2 more sets of that, 15 each time. The weight should, by the time you get to the 15th one, be a little bit difficult, like you really have to lift. You can maintain your form, but it's starting to tap into the muscle. If that's not happening and it's really easy, all that means is you maybe need to bump up to a heavier weight. All right, so 3 sets of bicep curls, 15 reps each. Here we go on to our second exercise, which is a tricep kickback. Again, we're going to do the warm-up one, so I like to use the 5s. So how I like to do this one is with my feet together, and my knees bent. All right, to pull the elbows behind, making sure the chest is lifted, the belly is pulled in. And then you're going to kick back and contract the tricep muscles. So you're going to pull it in, contract, in, contract. Make sure belly muscles pulled in. This is actually working your abs as well. And pushing the shoulders away from the ears. A lot of times when I see people doing this, they start doing this. And they're actually out of the tricep and they're doing something else. I'm not sure what. All right, so pull it up, shoulders down, and press. Remember, the warm-up is a really lightweight. And you'll do about 10 to 12 little warm-up reps. Okay, we'll set these down. And the warm-up is over for the triceps. And again, you're going to do 3 sets of 15. So I'm going to start with the 10s. I'm going to come into position. Taking a breath. Remember, breathing is extremely important. You're going to bend the knees, elbows up, shoulders down, and here we go. Press. Remember, there's a little pause at the top, a little hold and squeeze, and all of your focus is in that tricep. Again, on the last one, 15, hold, bring it in, nice and slow, and then carefully set them back down. All right? That was our second exercise, the tricep, which is the outside muscle that we're working on. And you're going to do 2 more sets of 15, okay? Everything this week is 3 sets of 15 with the heavier weight and then your warm-up. All right, so our next exercise is going to be working the shoulders. Again, we'll take the lighter weights. We'll come into a position, feet are about hips distance. Hands right here in front, making sure the chin is up, and you're going to lead with the elbows. Straight up, straight down. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. Again, this is the warm-up, so be sure to do about 10 or 15 really light, kind of settling into the form and the breathing. The form and breathing that you'll need for your 3 sets of 15 reps. And release. Again, being really careful as you put your weights back. And then we get ready to start our 3 rounds of 15 with the heavy weights. So come back into position. Maybe turn on your music. And here we go. Lift. 2, 3. And 15. Very carefully bringing it down. And in between the reps, I don't think I mentioned, you want to rest for only about 15 to 20 seconds. So it's not a very long rest. We actually are working on cardio strength where we want to keep the heart rate elevated just a tad. So you don't want to have these big gaps with nothing going on. It's only about a 15 to 20 second rest in between the reps. All right, so that concludes the arms. You did your biceps, you did your triceps, and you did your shoulders. We're going to be moving on to the core next and kind of focus on our midsection. Okay? So as we come into core and come into a seated position, and there's so much to say about core. You know, so many of us have a lot of issues, a lot of judgment, a lot of unhappiness around our stomach area. And with all the media and Photoshop, there's these ideal pictures, and our bodies just don't look like the pictures all the time. And so one of the main things that I really want to address this next 6 weeks is, in terms of your core, is getting to know this section, becoming more compassionate about it, and checking in to see what you need, what needs to happen in this area. As you can see, just by putting your hands around your core, feeling, taking it in, without judging, right? It's a really nice healing thing to do. As you start changing your relationship with your body and what you think it should be, and changing your relationship with how you're going to be fueling and eating and hydrating and resting, so that you're giving your body what it needs to be in its optimal health. All right, so the abs are pretty tricky. They're a sensitive area. They're a place where, we don't have a strong connection normally. And so one of the first things we're going to teach you today as a warm-up, which we'll be doing every time during the next 6 weeks, is called fire breath. And fire breath is an exercise that I learned in yoga years ago, and it's a really way to kind of turn on your internal fire. And what I found out from last Thursday when we did this practice with the Thursday morning group, a lot of the comments are always like, wow, that fire breath is really powerful. It's a great way to warm up and connect with the core. And then we also have other people who are like, that fire breath is crazy. It doesn't make sense. I can't feel anything. And so if you're new to it, I'm going to ask you to be really patient and just keep practicing, because I do know from experience, it is a really effective way to build connection. And sometimes these things take time. All right, so for fire breath, you're going to take a seated position with the chest up high. I like to place my hand on my belly so I could feel what's going on. And I'm going to do the timer for you on this because it's really helpful. We're going to go 3 rounds, 30 seconds each round, and there'll be a little break in between. And so you're going to take a nice deep inhale. And then on your exhale, you're going to snap your belly in and blow the air out. So it looks like this. All right, so it's a very forceful snap the belly in. Now, if you've not done this before, it can be really awkward and challenging. So all I can tell you is just keep practicing, and the breath is really helpful. So we're gonna go for it for 30 seconds here. This will be our first round. Inhale and begin. And then just drop the back of the hands on your knees. Connect the index finger and thumb, gently closing the eyes. And no more forcing the breath. Just begin to enjoy a calming and we're going to get ready for round 2. All right. Again, you can use the shh, shh. We're going to use the shh, shh on the exhale. Every time you exhale and snap the belly in, what you want to try and do is feel the core muscles contract. And if you haven't practiced contracting them before, you may not feel a whole lot. So just keep feeling it with your hand and pressing and exhaling with your mouth. All right, here we go. Round 2, 30 seconds. Inhale and begin. And rest. Enjoying any sensations, any warmth, just staying curious, noticing how your body's reacting to fire breath. And I look forward to seeing what kind of posts you put about it. They're usually pretty funny in classes to hear people's reaction to it. So here we go. We have one more round, and you'll have the option this time, instead of doing the shh, shh, or through the mouth, another way to do it is keeping the mouth closed and then just using the nose. So it'll look a little different and a little quieter. And here we go. Inhale. And rest. Giving your body a little chance to recover and regroup and calm. Beautiful. All right, if you need more time to calm, if your heart rate is still kind of agitated or you're feeling a little lightheaded from the fire breath, then just take some more time. Just put pause on the video recording until you can calm down, until you feel ready to go. As with this whole entire next 6 weeks, I'm going to keep asking you to check in with yourself. Even though we're pushing and we're saying go on to the next thing, you need to check in and see if you need more rest or you need more recovery time. And that's fine. In fact, it's recommended. All right, so our next and our final exercise for the abs is you're gonna actually come down onto your back. So you're gonna lay down and you're gonna bring your heels in an angle 90 degrees across from your knees, and you're going to place the palms pressing down on the ground. And what you're going to notice is that some of us, we arch our back and there's like a little gap here, and we don't want you doing that. I want you to press so that your lower back is pressing into the ground so much that you'll feel like your booty lifts up a little. Okay? So if you're just flat, you'll notice that the core is not engaged. And if you curl and lift, you'll notice that they are engaged. So kind of play around with it. This is relaxed and flat and curled and engaged. So this is where we want to start, curled and engaged. And for some of us, it's nice to come up onto the elbows. And it's a nice resting spot. And what we're going to do is we're going to lower one heel at a time, down about an inch off the ground. And as you come up, you're going to curl and lift. And then the other heel goes down to the ground and curl and lift. So that's 2 and lift. It's very slow, very controlled, and it's strengthening. Nothing with momentum or swinging. It's actually just contraction. All right? Just kind of play around with that. Some of you may feel this already. Some of you, are already strong in the core, and you'll have to do a few more. So here's how the breath goes. As you curl and you contract right here, you exhale. Inhale, exhale. In and exhale. Inhale, exhale. All right, here we go. We're going to do 8. There's 1, 2, halfway there, 4 more. And 4. And you're going to keep your legs there. You're going to come down to the ground, hands behind your head, and then you're going to slowly lift and crunch. So what I like people to do is press their head back into their hands. So we're not pulling on the neck. No, no, no. We're actually leaning, elbows are open, and press the head back and lift with the core. For 8, 7, 6, and 1. Hold it up at the top. If you can, bring your elbows in, come back to your position. Now, if this is too much, I know some people in class didn't like being on the elbows. They actually enjoyed being flat on the ground. That was more effective. That's fine. We'll do this section flat on the ground so you can feel the difference. Again, curl the hips. And here we go. We're going to lower for 6. 5, curl. 4, curl. 3, curl. 2, exhale as you curl. And 1, curl. Keep the curl up, hands behind your head. And 6, 5, 4, 3, exhale 2, exhale 1. Again, you can come up on your elbows if you like, or lay flat, whichever one's more comfortable and more effective for your body. And here we go for 4. Curl, 3, curl, 2, curl, 1, curl. Hold the curl, lower slow, and lift for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Again, lay flat on your back for the last 2, or up on your elbows. Only 2. Lower, curl, lower, curl, all the way down, and lift and hold. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring your knees in. And you'll start to circle, pressing the lower back. And reverse your circle. And then you're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees open up, palms face up. And take a breath in and pause and hold up at the top. And then exhale through the mouth. We've completed our arms and abs for the day, and we're gently going to move into our calming and stretching. So you're going to bring the soles of the feet flat. Bring the right knee into chest, left leg out straight. You're going to stretch the legs, flex the feet, and then point the toes, and flex, and point. Flex, and you're going to take your hand, left hand over the right knee, and extend the right arm out, and you'll spinal twist to the left. Look right. Bring everything back into center, both knees in. And then clasp the left knee, extend the right leg out. With your new muscles, pull the leg in tight. You're going to point and flex, point and flex, point. And here we go. Take the right hand across the left knee. Left arm out and spinal twist to the right and look left. Bringing both knees into center, cross the ankles, get a little bit of momentum, rock and roll on the back, and coming up into seated. So go ahead and bring your hands to your heart center, closing down your eyes and sinking into gratitude. What is it that you're grateful for today? Let your heart expand and feel your thankfulness. Inhale as the fingers rise. Exhale as you bring your hands back to heart. And bowing forward, namaste. All right, guys. That ends our first little workout for the week. I want you to try to complete that 3 more times on your own. If it's too easy, I want you to use heavier weights and maybe you bump up to 4 sets of 15 instead of just 3. Again, be sure to do your warm-up, your 10-minute walk or run or dancing. You do your strength with your arms and you do your strength with your core, and always follow up with a little stretching and reflection of gratitude. All right, enjoy your rest of your day and week, and all questions, comments, encouragements to each other on our team are going to be happening on the private Facebook page. And if you haven't accepted the entry into that, be sure that you do. It's by invitation only, and you have to accept the invitation. If you have any questions, you can always contact me through text. My number is 916-216-4569. And thank you for being here and being part of the team. Thank you.